Nobody writes a bridge like Babyface, and nobody sings a bridge like Toni Braxton. We're going to take a look at two Toni bridges to understand why they are so iconic. Toni Braxton's voice is one of many contrasting colors and sounds. There's this richness and darkness at the bottom.
All is fairy love
that she's able to carry into the middle. That feeds into a bright top. The contrast in colors and sounds of her three registers is how we get those musical and exciting moments in the bridges of songs such as the range for this bridge is middle C to high A flat, with her doing a lot of work in the middle A to C range. She uses the "Whoa Baby" before the start of the bridge to ensure that the notes she needs are there. What's happening in the bars before the high note are most important. The first thing you'll notice is how she uses growls. She uses them to create emotional tensions with the words lonely and song right before the high A flat. In addition to creating tension, growling adds extra darkness to the voice, and a growl is also done by closing the throat. When she does the high A flat, all of that built tension is now released because we are hearing the contrast of everything we've heard the entirety of the song. The sound went from a closed throat growl to an open throat head voice. There's a color contrast from the dark chest to the bright head. These same elements of contrast are present in the bridge of "Love Shoulda Brought You Home." Right before the high A, she uses growls again to create the color and emotional tension that she will then release on the high note. But something worth talking about is how exactly she maneuvers the high note. The mezzo-soprano voice is the most common female voice. The voices vary that it is difficult to name any note on which the break can be found. Sometimes it is on the same note as a soprano, sometimes on the same as a contralto. Frederick Warren, 1882. The mezzo-soprano voice is the most dominant voice in pop music. So what this means is that there are high mezzo-sopranos who sit closer to the soprano voice, you have your middleweight mezzos, and you have your lower mezzo-sopranos whose voices sit closer to contralto. Toni Braxton sits on the lower end of this voice type. But whether she's a high, middle, or low mezzo-soprano, her strength is going to lie in the middle register. And one thing you'll notice that in the climaxes of these songs is that their highest notes generally fall within the same major third, and they usually attack the note in a similar fashion, such as an octave leap, because it allows them to use the strength and the energy of their middle registers to springboard into the upper registers, like this. What Toni does So basically, All that's going on here is she's using the contrast of her registers and knowing the strengths of her voice type to create a musically and vocally exciting experience.